Everyone thinks cryptids hide in distant wilderness. They're wrong. Sometimes they appear right in your backyard. For 3 chilling nights in April 1977, a sleepy Massachusetts town became the epicenter of an unexplained phenomenon. Not in a remote forest, but along suburban roads, a creature emerged that defied classification, leaving behind baffled witnesses and a legend still whispered today. This wasn't some blurry photo of Bigfoot from afar. This was a creature described in vivid, unsettling detail by multiple unconnected teenagers, each account adding another brushstroke to a deeply bizarre portrait. It was small, alien, and utterly unexpected. The story begins on April 21, 1977, in the quiet town of Dover, Massachusetts. Around 10:30 p.m., 17-year-old William Bartlett was driving with 2 friends down Farm Street. What they saw next would forever change their perception of the world. As their headlights cut through the darkness, a figure appeared on a low stone wall. It wasn't an animal they recognized. It wasn't human. Bartlett later described it as having a large, watermelon-shaped head, disproportionately large for its small body, with eyes that glowed orange. The creature's body, he recalled, was slender, almost spider-like, with long, thin limbs and fingers. It had no discernible nose or mouth, just the 2 luminous orange eyes dominating its oversized cranium. Its skin, or what appeared to be skin, was rough, peach-colored, and hairless. Bartlett and his friends, understandably terrified, sped away. They immediately reported their sighting to the Dover Police Department. The officers, perhaps skeptical but recognizing the genuine distress, advised them to draw what they saw. These initial sketches, raw and frantic, would become crucial. They laid the groundwork for the creature's public image, a truly alien figure that seemed more science fiction than cryptid. But this was only the first encounter. Just hours later, on the same night, around 12:30 a.m., 15-year-old John Baxter was walking home on Miller Hill Road, less than a mile from Bartlett's sighting. He heard rustling in a ditch and shone his flashlight. There he saw it, crouched on all fours, observing him. Baxter's description largely mirrored Bartlett's, a large, oblong head, glowing orange eyes, and a small, thin body. He noted its long, thin fingers and toes and a rough, sandpapery texture to its skin. Baxter's account added a critical detail. He described the creature making a sound, a low, guttural growl, almost like a hissing noise. This auditory element intensified the fear and the creature's perceived reality. The next day, April 22, 1977, the sightings continued. Around 5 p.m., 14-year-old Abby Brabham was driving with her friend, 13-year-old Will Taintor, on Springdale Avenue. They spotted a creature by the side of the road. It was standing near a small stream. Abby described it as roughly 3 feet tall, with a large, oval-shaped head and those distinctive orange eyes. She specifically mentioned its long, thin neck and limbs and the absence of any hair. Will Taintor corroborated Abby's account, adding that the creature had long, spindly fingers and was a tan or light brown color. He stated it looked like a baby monkey with long fingers, but with a head too big for its body. What makes these accounts so compelling is their consistency. Despite being separate sightings by different groups of people, the core descriptions of the creature remained remarkably similar. Large head, orange eyes, small body, thin limbs, no hair, rough skin. Local investigator and cryptozoologist Loren Coleman quickly became involved. He interviewed the witnesses, meticulously documenting their testimonies and sketches. Coleman coined the name Dover Demon, and the legend began to spread. Coleman's investigation was thorough. He found no evidence of a hoax. The teenagers were genuinely frightened, and their stories, despite the bizarre nature of the creature, held up under scrutiny. No one sought fame or fortune. So what exactly did they see? The explanations range from the mundane to the truly outlandish. One common theory suggests a misidentification of a known animal, perhaps a baby moose or a foal, suffering from a birth defect. However, the detailed descriptions of glowing orange eyes, the complete lack of a discernible nose or mouth, and the unique head shape make this difficult to reconcile with any known terrestrial animal, even one with deformities. Another possibility considered was that the sightings were a prank or a fabrication. But the independent nature of the sightings, the consistency of the descriptions, and the genuine fear expressed by the witnesses strongly argue against this. Some have speculated it could be an extraterrestrial being, a small alien scout briefly visiting Earth. The watermelon head and glowing eyes certainly evoke classic alien imagery, aligning with popular culture depictions of ETs. Yet for an extraterrestrial, its movements were surprisingly terrestrial, crawling, standing, and moving through ditches. There were no UFO sightings reported in conjunction with the Dover demon, no strange lights in the sky. Could it be a previously undiscovered species? A cryptid, perfectly adapted to the forests and waterways of Massachusetts, but rarely seen. The rarity of the sightings, confined to just 3 nights, makes this a challenging hypothesis to prove. The Dover demon remains one of cryptozoology's most compelling and perplexing cases. It's a stark reminder that even in our seemingly well-charted world, the unexplained can still emerge from the shadows, leaving us to wonder what truly lurks just beyond our perception. The events of those 3 nights in Dover challenge our understanding of what's possible, forcing us to consider that perhaps some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, forever etched into the folklore of a small New England town. What other creatures might be hiding in plain sight, waiting for their moment in the light?